March 5th, one of the things you do, you always do your very best. And that way when whatever happen and everything, and you
Yeah.
know that you've done your best. I tell my people, I said, all I expect of you is to do your very best. If you're doing your very best, then we'll be fine.
There you go.
And that's all. That's life.
That's
You
life.
know,
That is life.
I'm not going to do anything underhanded
Right.
or anything like that. That never creeps into my mind and everything. And I'm going to be Bob Burby
Yeah.
on March 6th, one way or another. You know.
Running for reelection.
Thank you, Jay.
Yeah, man.
I'm glad you brought that up. One of the things that I found out that running for re-election versus running for office is two different distinct paradigms you have to follow. First of all, when you're not in office, you don't have to worry about an office.
Right.
But when you're in office, you have to keep your office going and campaign as well. Well, one of the things I've always said that a campaign every day for re-election.
Right.
Well, that's what doing a good job. And I've looked at some of the accomplishments that I've had
Yeah.
done since I've been in office for the last 3 years, and it's pretty lengthy. And it's on my website at www.sheriffburby2024.com. You can go to that if you haven't, and you'll see all my philosophies, my education, my training, my high-level training, executive training, my many years experience as a military person and law enforcement officer, totals of 50 years. Um, I attended some of the best senior leadership schools in the United States.
Okay.
Same kind of training that a major city police chief have. I have that too. Um, Been involved in the Texas Police Chiefs Association as past president as well. Was a board member, still a lifetime member. A whole myriad of things. I was watching one of the political shows the other day, and they said, "Well, he checked all the blocks." Well, I did check all the boxes, and everything, and I've done the work. I've done the groundwork, and I've done the leadership work. I've
Yeah.
done administrative work. If the work needs to be done, I did it
Yeah.
and everything. Just the other day, we had to go do a recovery at the Sabine River, and one of the things that really aided immensely in our abilities to do that is the volunteerism and the cooperation with other agencies. Uh, it was not surprising to me to know that we had people from uh, Texas Fish and Wildlife, Louisiana Fish and Wildlife, Burgard Parish Sheriff's Office. We had the DeRidder Fire Department. We had Bondwell Volunteer Fire Department. Had Deweyville Volunteer Fire Department. We had Maryville Volunteer Fire Department. We had Maryville PD came out there. We had a myriad of folks that came out. We had Vernon Parish. We flew drones. We used boats. We had the churches on both sides of the river, Pentecostal churches on both sides in the Junction and Bonware and here in Newton. We had the Bonware Neighborhood Watch Group
Yeah.
participated in
Right. Right.
providing food and drinks. We had Live Oak Church as well in San Jack. We had a lot of folks, and if I left anyone out, you will be getting a letter soon. And if I didn't include you, let me know, because trying to keep track of all that in a situation like that it was pretty daunting on us and everything. But we had a lot of helping hands. That there's a lot to be said when communities, especially from two different states, work together to a common goal in to bringing Miss Perkins back to her family. The family, our hearts and prayers go out to the family who was there every day, and I could not stop without saying that about them, and hoping that I could do my part in providing closure for them.
Sure.
So this is goes to show, just like I always said, life is short and very precious. So we need to make sure that we tell people that we love, how we feel about them, treat people like you want to be treated, and everything. And all this bitterness and evenness needs to be put aside, because it's just no need for that. People need to know that they can agree to disagree,
right,
and still be professionals and everything. I never in my heart ever try to destroy anyone. If anything, I'm trying to help people. I try to help people at their lowest and everything, and because we're all human and everything, and for the most part, we all want the same things. We want to have a good place to live, work, play, nice things for our families, and everything, and those are the goals that we all share in one way or another. So we need to understand that, that just because you might see something one way and I see it another way does not make us enemies.
Right.
It really doesn't. If anything, it makes us to be able to put our heads together and try to find common ground, where we might even facilitate a better solution.
Yeah.
Because one of the things I've always felt that I'm a problem solver. I'm a leader who's a problem solver. I'm always trying to help and everything. That's my DNA, everything. And as sheriff, I'm in a position to do that. And that's what I've been doing, and that's what I plan to keep on doing. And everything is not a personal thing that I value for ego, because if I was in the ego tripping, I wouldn't be sheriff.
No
I'd
doubt.
be in there talking about me,
Sure.
And I don't do that. It's about us. It's we. So going forward, I've done a lot of things here in Newton County, working with folks and everything, and I try to invite people to come work with us instead of be hypocritical or critical on something. Get involved, help us. We don't have all the answers. You can come and help us find those answers. And we need hands. We need hands to do the work. We always reach out to other folks to come and help us and everything. And sometimes it might be that much that makes that much of a difference that you can provide. And I wish this country used to be like that. It used to be, what can I do to help?
Right.
Not what can I do to destroy or break down and everything. And it bothers me to see, as we live longer, we see different things, and that's what the wisdom comes from, the experience, and person in my position have seen a lot and everything, and it bothers me and everything, and that's why I work so hard in trying to do the things I do.
Sure.
To make it better, but I can't do it by myself.
No doubt. No doubt. So for your campaign, man, I mean, obviously, like you said, I mean, you're having to hold down the fort and try to let people know you're up for re-election at the same time. I mean, that's kind of juggling. That's a juggling match.
Yeah, I'm a taskmaster, with a multitasker and everything, and I give people the benefit of the doubt. It's election time. They know I'm up for re-election and everything, and my record is open. My accomplishments are many and everything, and what we're doing and done is out there, and they see the vision that I have in going forward. Like right now, the biggest thing that we need is a jail. And I've been talking about a jail for over a year now and everything, and I've been becoming a pain in the butt on that, and I'm not gonna stop, doing that, because the citizens need a jail that can hold the people that need to be in there. Now, right now we're spending a lot of money on the jail, the infrastructure, plumbings and things of that nature, roofs and wiring and all that kind of stuff. And we spent over $50,000 last year on just maintenance stuff, parts and stuff. And we're talking about a jail that's over 40 years old.
Yeah.
So and it only holds 14 people, and we had upwards 30 people in our custody last week, and it's been around that number for consistently now. I think it was 27 and everything. So we don't want to keep sending good money behind bad money.
Yeah.
We're paying Burby Parish $65 per inmate per day. We pay Jasper County $45 per inmate per day.
James Radissi.
And so, that adds up. That adds up. And then the money that we're sending in to Louisiana and to other places could be spent here in Newton County.
Yeah, no doubt.
And so that's something that we need, that's high on my list. That is at the top of my list and everything.
Where, obviously you started out with the Bonweir Watch Group. And you have kind of a vision for having these neighborhood watches
Yeah.
all across the county to help you guys kind of combat anything that looks out of the ordinary, anything that looks
Yeah.
crazy. But you were using that kind of as the flagship to kind of be the standard of what you guys are doing. How is that going?
It's going very well because, we was at the river in Bonweir for a week and a day, and the people that was part of that neighborhood watch group played a huge role in helping out and everything. And it's a big difference when you're around people that they know you,
Yeah.
and they know what you're about and everything. And we talk about some of the crime, some of the knuckleheads that we've taken off the streets out of Bonweir who was preying on innocent victims over there, who's currently incarcerated. And it's a different place. Bonweir is a totally different place than what it was when I took office. Period. Hands down. And a lot of folks tell you that. A lot of folks there, especially, and everything is just different. The different attitude. There's a different air about it. The next place I'm planning on going is over in the Paul Trout Creek area, Old Salem area as well, for the neighborhood watch. There's just so many different aspects of neighborhood watch. Getting people involved in their communities.
Sure.
It helps, it breeds a different environment
Right.
to the whole community. Insofar as the way it looks, the littering, people just taking advantage and not having pride, coming through their properties, and just a whole myriad of things. And that is my next area. And I've had folks reach out to me. It's just that, we are pretty busy, but that's not an excuse. We have to prioritize things, and court. We do a lot of Newton County Sheriff's Office does a whole lot of stuff that the common citizen does not see, like court. There's just because there's not a big trial going on, that don't mean we don't go to court.
Right.
We have to provide security for the court.
Yeah.
And there's hearings all the time, different type hearings and everything. And now that we're kind of displaced because we moved the court to the Civic Center until the courthouse is renovated with the repairs that needs to be done as opposed to the historical society. So it's a lot of different things. And then we have our jail, and the jail consists of prisoner transport.
Right.
We got inmates in 2 different facilities.
Yeah.
Burger Parish.
Yeah.
And Jasper. We have a large number of inmates that we are responsible for taking them to dental, medical appointments, getting them transported to TDC.
Yeah.
Like I said, beginning of the year, we have booked, since I've been in office, over 800 bookends.
Wow.
Since I've been in office, over 800. And so, in a 3-year period. So that with a jail that only holds 14 folks,
Yeah.
that should show you that we're doing a lot. We're doing a lot of paperwork, doing a lot of moving,
A lot of shuffling.
everything, a lot of shuffling and everything. And at the spur of the moment, then we have a law enforcement mission that we have to abide by,
Right.
emergencies and everything. So it ain't that we're sitting on our fat asses.
Right.
You know, very rarely we get a chance to sit on our fat asses. And then when we do, we're tired.
Sure.
But anyway,
But Old Salem in that area is kind of the next step for you guys.
Yeah, that area is kind of the next step because they reached out first.
Is there a reason why you started? Was it crime? You were seeing a lot of crime coming out of Bonware. You were seeing a lot of crime coming out of that
Enthusiasm.
Okay.
One of the things about setting up a neighborhood watch, it comes from folks.
Sure.
We just facilitate them
Right.
to get organized.
Okay.
But the work, for the most part, has to come from them. You know,
Right.
the residents.
Yeah.
You know, so when you have that enthusiasm coupled with our professionalism and our assistance in getting them together, telling them what they need to do, you know.
Right. Just bringing order.
That's how you
to
bring
it
it to you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because actually, when you get a neighborhood watch group going, you're just kind of sitting back. If you need me, well, you want me, you know. When they have issues, I come from the broken window effect policing back in the 20th century, whereas if you let things set long enough, it's going to get worse, and
Sure.
with no attention. And what I mean by that, the quality of life concerns. There's a lot of quality of life concerns that makes a big difference to the common citizen. You're going to have more quality of life concerns, loud music, barking dogs, people driving fast up and down your streets, knuckleheads might be riding through your yard on a bicycle and rutting it up, things like that.
Right.
Quality of life, and those things are irritating. Okay, and the worst thing about that is I tell folks, you know, that is one of those kind of violations. If we don't see it, I can't go and just arrest somebody for it or
Right.
write them a citation. So
Right.
you have to work with us to try to facilitate stopping it. First of all, I always say, have you talked to them?
Yeah.
Have you talked to your neighbor? Because most part, it's people who live in the same area. Have you talked to them? Because when I go talk to them, they're going to say, I can't believe they called police on me.
Yeah.
Then guess what they're going to do? They're going to sit there and watch you and call the police on you when they can. So we don't get anything accomplished that way.
Yeah.
You know, so we try to facilitate dialogue and everything, and work through these issues like adults.
Yeah.
And but the neighborhood watch group comes from within. It comes from the citizens with enthusiasm and see the need and everything. Now the crime, you're always going to have crime somewhere at some level or another and everything. And the people who are working with us, they let us know. A lot of folks don't like to tell police anything. They expect us that we know it, and that's not the case. Because this is a free country, we can't violate people's civil liberties and
Right.
rights and everything just because you said this happened. We have to have probable cause, have to have standing. And that's why when people call me about things, I listen to them and say, okay, do me a favor, hang up and call that into dispatch. Whereas it don't look like the sheriff, I almost call myself the chief, that is calling and putting the law on this person.
Right.
You know, because it looks from a distance, it look like, well, the sheriff is picking on those folks.
Yeah.
Yeah, call it in, tell them what you told me, and they'll dispatch a deputy out there. That's how it should be done.
Yeah.
And that's how I want it to be done. And that's showing unbiased, fair practices to everybody.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So, obviously, the jail's a big topic moving forward, say post March 5th. What would you say is another, you have the jail, you have the community watches, the neighborhood watches and whatnot. What would you say is one last thing that you want to really kind of push toward moving forward?
All right, moving forward as to
like after March 5th and you're reelected, what's kind of your outside of the jail, outside of the neighborhood watches, what's another thing that you really want to see that you focus on?
I would like to focus on people getting a good concept of what we're doing and where they can go and get the information. Because like I said, Jay, I push information out all the time.
Sure.
I push it out on the run, in different venues, and people still don't get it for some reason or another. Now, going forward, I would like folks to get it and be more vigilant in getting the information, what we're doing, because we don't have a large department, whereas we have someone just designated just do information, pushing information.
Right.
We don't have that. Wish it did, but we don't have that, and that will shut down the ambiguous things about, oh, I heard this or I heard that. One of the things that I always said, that I push out facts, not gossip, of what is public concerns. I'm not going to put gossip out. I'm going to put safety concerns, public need to know, and everything. And that's what it's all about. Right now, I'm working on getting my folks better trained. We are focusing on training because the better trained we are, the better product of public safety we can provide to you and the citizens.
Sure.
So we're working on that. We're always working on how we can do getting the best bang for our buck, like for a better term, that we're very mindful of the taxpayers' money and everything, and resources. Bringing and keep increasing our level of professionalism. Don't get caught up in a whole lot of petty stuff. And my guys don't have time for that and everything. And we're not that. That's not who we are or what we are. Focusing on the kids.
Yeah.
We have done pretty good on those things. Resources for people in need. The homeless, the people who don't get the nourishment that they need, to help out those support agencies. We have a lot of resources.
Sure.
And one of the things I plan to do, we're involved in a lot of different assist agencies like Family Services Center and the Burke Center and Salvation Army.
Right.
And we provide scholarships for kids. We want to increase that amount that we provide to them. We provide Christmas presents to the unfortunate. Some of the kids who are not going to have a very bright Christmas. We don't make a big deal out of that, but we've done that for the last couple of years. So we do a lot of behind the scenes work and everything. And one of the things I plan to do, and I made a mark of this, I'm getting my guys to jump in, guys sex neutral, to ring that bell during Christmas time. Salvation Army, because Salvation Army does a whole lot of different things that people don't know that they do. And there's a lot of other agencies that does it also. But one of the things I've used the Salvation Army a lot this year, helping out folks, citizens here in Newton.
Yeah.
And I told them, I said, I'm going to make sure that I get some people to help you ring that bell this year.
There you go.
So it's all about public service, man. So there's so many different areas I can go on and on. You'll probably bore you and everything. They'll say, man, that guy, he just keep going on and on. Well, if there wasn't people like me, there would be a lot of people, unfortunate folks suffer.
Sure.
Really.
Well, March 5th, right around the corner.
Yeah, March 5th, one of the things you do, you always do your very best. And that way when whatever happens and everything, and you know that you've done your best. I tell my people, I said, all I expect of you is to do your very best. If you're doing your very best, then we'll be fine.
There you go.
And that's all. That's life.
That's life.
That
is life.
I'm not going to do anything underhanded,
right,
or anything like that. That never creeps into my mind and everything. And I'm going to be Bob Burby on March 6th, one way or another. So,
Sheriff Burby, I appreciate you sitting down, man.
Okay, I appreciate you, man.
Absolutely. Good luck on Tuesday.
Thank you very much.
All right.